It's the calm before the storm, less than a week from the beta on Xbox One. I can hardly wait. Hey Vault Dwellers, JV here, and today I'm discussing private worlds in Fallout 76. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more Fallout 76 videos just like this. Before we jump in, big thanks to Camelworks for allowing me to use his unedited footage from the Greenbrier event. Once again, link to his channel is in the description below. Today's video is centered around an interview with project lead Jeff Gardner and design director Chris Mayer over on Fandom. Link in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourselves. The subject is on private servers and modding, which are both hot topics for this community. The big challenge with Fallout 76 is that it's both always online and multiplayer, so that obviously throws a wrench in the traditional modding experience. It limits what you can do. Fortunately, Todd and the team know how important modding is to their community, so this is what he said after Fallout 76 was revealed at E3.
We love mods, and so we are 100% committed to doing that in 76 as well. Okay. We will not be able to do that at launch, though. Yep. You know, our goal for launch, this is really new for us, is have a well-running, robust service, and then some period later, we're currently still designing what that service looks like. You'll be able to have your own private world and be able to mod it and do all of that. We think with our games, that's where like the long-term life of them really is. Yeah. That is trickier when you get into an online world, but we're definitely committed to that, just won't be at launch.
There we have it. We've had it since the beginning. They are 100% committed. It's not coming at launch. They're still designing what it looks like, but private worlds will be there, and they understand that's where the long-term life of their game is. Here's what Jeff Gardner had to say on the more recent interview. Sometime in the future, way in the future, we're going to fully embrace mods and then do something we're calling private worlds. We usually don't use the word server here so much. We're trying to call them worlds, and these are going to be private worlds that folks will actually be able to set up and mod to their heart's content. It'd sort of be up to that curator, or whatever you want to call them, to be responsible for that experience. So it's, you know, they can do all cotton candy houses or whatever they wanted to do. Your characters at that point will have to stay on those servers. You couldn't bring them back into a game like this, where you could go into that world, grab all the ammo, come back into a regular game, and grief all day. It very much sounds like Bethesda's plan is to offer a complete experience, where players have control over their game. Absolutely everything they want to alter, they can mod to their heart's content. But of course, that connection to the online public worlds must be kept separate. There's no way in, whatever, you would allow people to go into their private worlds, do whatever, and then import that character back in. And I can imagine there are many technical challenges involved with running separate versions of this game. There's going to be the live game where Bethesda constantly updates. We've got, weekly, monthly new content patches coming for this game. That's pretty much what Bethesda has promised to us. And then simultaneously, you have these other private worlds, private servers, where people can do absolutely whatever they want. Moderating those two things and keeping them running simultaneously is most certainly not an easy task. Along those same lines, Chris Mayer says, we obviously love the mod community and love supporting them, but allowing the mod community to come in and mod this game, the possibility of breaking the experience, it's something we could not risk. Again, mods and private worlds are an afterthought because the live core experience must be protected, and the priorities here have changed compared to other Fallout games. We've got an always online, an always connected version of Fallout. That's the priority for this team, and that's just how it is. It's something we have to accept. So everyone from Bethesda has reiterated the same basic idea that private servers, private worlds, these things are not going to come anytime soon, anytime in the relative future. Pete Hines has mentioned on Twitter that it may be a year after Fallout 76's official launch in November until we see these features. With that in mind, it's really too early to demand answers to these questions, but I still have some lingering concerns or just thoughts about how this is going to work. Will we have to pay for private worlds? That's a big concern, I know, for a lot of people, because usually if there's any sort of server hosting where you could say, hey, let me invite my friend over into my private world that's not connected to the online servers, that's usually when you have to pay, when you're hosting something. Think like Battlefield servers, for example. They're a little bit modded, they're a little bit tweaked based on whoever's hosting it. Is that how that's going to work for Fallout 76? And also, will those private worlds ever be offline? According to Pete Hines again, this game will always be online no matter what. But what's the point for private worlds? Why would my private world need to be online unless I wanted to invite friends into it? That's definitely a scenario in which I would think, yeah, okay, they need to be online. And finally, will we see Creation Club return for private worlds? We know that we have the Atomic Shop, which is the microtransaction, cosmetic-only storefront where you can earn stuff or currency in-game, also pay real money to buy cosmetic-only items that don't affect gameplay whatsoever. But what about Creation Club, where you could, potentially buy weapons that are made and curated by Bethesda, or power armor? You guys know all about Creation Club for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. It seems odd that Bethesda would invest so many resources into building out that platform and then not implement it into this game in some form or fashion. I know some of you less trusting fans absolutely believe that Bethesda is going to turn around and implement Creation Club for Fallout 76's live public servers. I don't see that happening at all unless they completely remove any sort of weapons, armor, things that would give you a gameplay advantage, because that is pay to win. Bethesda's smart. They know the difference. And if they do that, it's a massive, major betrayal. But for private worlds, for your own enjoyment, where there's no competitive advantage, I mean, that's just the same thing as adding that into Fallout 4. So I don't see why they couldn't or wouldn't add Creation Club back in for private worlds and private servers and modding. In the comment section, tell me if you think Creation Club will return in this game. Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe and hit the bell for more Fallout 76 content, like my last video where we discussed the game's frame rate. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.